I called my husband weak at dinner. He can't even fix a sink, I joked to our friends. Everyone laughed, except him. Days later, divorce papers arrived, and my friends were all blocking my calls after he proved I was the joke all along.
I, 34F, Sarah, and my husband Michael, 36M, have been married for 9 years. Looking back, I guess I've always taken him for granted.
Michael works in IT, makes decent money, and has always been the quiet type. Not the alpha male type my friends' husbands are. You know, the ones who build decks and fix cars. Michael prefers reading and chess. I used to think this was endearing. Used to. Last Friday, we had our usual monthly dinner party with my closest friends and their husbands. 8 couples total, including us. Somewhere between the second glass of wine and dessert, the conversation turned to home repairs. My friend Jessica was bragging about how her husband rebuilt their entire bathroom. Claire chimed in about how her husband installed new kitchen cabinets.
I don't know what possessed me, but I blurted out.
Oh God, Michael wouldn't know which end of the hammer to hold. He can't even fix a sink. I laughed. Everyone laughed. I swear I continued, enjoying being the center of attention. Last month our kitchen faucet was leaking, and he just stared at it for like 20 minutes before calling a plumber. The plumber fixed it in 5 minutes. Cost us $300 for something a real man could have handled. Jessica snorted into her wine. Remember when they had to move that couch? I rolled my eyes dramatically. Oh my God, yes! He threw out his back trying to lift one end, had to call my brother to help. I mean, the thing wasn't even that heavy. By now everyone was roaring with laughter except Michael. He just stared at me, then quietly excused himself to check on something in the garage. I barely noticed. I was too busy entertaining everyone with stories about his incompetence around the house. Seriously, though, I said. Sometimes I feel like I married a teenager who never learned basic life skills. He's sweet and all, but totally useless for anything practical. The party continued. I was the life of it as usual. Michael came back after 15 minutes, silent as ever, and sat through the rest of the evening without a word. Nothing seemed wrong for the next few days. Michael went to work as usual, came home as usual. But on Wednesday, I came home to an envelope on the kitchen counter. Divorce papers. My hands were shaking as I called him. He answered on the first ring. You received them? Michael, what the hell? Is this about the dinner party? I was just joking. He laughed. Not his usual laugh. Something darker. Just joking? Like you've been just joking for our entire marriage. I don't understand. Check your bank account, Sarah. I logged into our banking app. My personal account showed $126.32. Where's my money? Your money? You mean the money I've been depositing into your account for 9 years? The money you've been spending while belittling me to your friends? My stomach dropped. Michael, please. I finally realized something at that dinner party, Sarah. You've never respected me. You think I'm weak because I don't perform masculinity the way you want. So I'm done performing altogether. I started getting calls from my friends later that evening. Except they weren't calling to console me. They were furious. You absolute bitch! Jessica screamed when I answered. How could you do this to him? It turns out Michael had sent them all something after the dinner party. Screenshots. 9 years worth of group chat messages where I'd been mocking him behind his back, making fun of his hobbies, his body, his performance. Things I'd completely forgotten I'd written. You told us he cried during sex? Jessica continued. That was a lie, wasn't it? He told us the real story, that he cried when your father died because he was the only one with you at the hospital. And you turned that into a joke about him being weak. My entire social circle imploded in 24 hours. Update 1. Posted 3 days later. It got worse. So much worse. Remember how I said Michael worked in IT? Turns out he's not just some low-level tech support guy. He's a cybersecurity expert who makes $350,000 annually, plus stock options and consulting fees. How did I not know this? Because I never asked. because I never attended his work events, because I was too busy spending our money on brunches while making fun of his boring job to my friends. He's been putting exactly 40% of his salary into our joint accounts. The rest? Savings, investments, property I had no idea about. And guess what? In our state, premarital assets aren't community property. He bought our house before we got married and never put my name on it. I've been living in HI house, mocking him to his face the entire time. He also owns an apartment complex with 12 units, 3 rental properties, a vacation home at a ski resort, patent rights to several security software programs. My lawyer says I'm fucked. 18 months of alimony max, because I have a degree and work experience. But the real kicker, the incompetent man I mocked, he's been documenting everything. He has emails I sent to my sister calling him pathetic. He has recordings of me laughing about his small dick energy to my friends. How? The fucking Amazon Echo in our living room that he set up and maintained. Update 2, posted 1 week later. I'm staying with my sister because I can't afford the house payments. Michael's moved back in. Legally, since it's his house and my name was never on it, it's all above board. The cherry on top, that sink he couldn't fix, he sent me a video of him completely replumbing our entire bathroom. The previous broken sink, he'd simply turned off the supply valve. He let me call expensive plumbers repeatedly just to see how I'd react. Every time, he'd magically fix it himself right before they arrived. I just never noticed the pattern. That couch incident, he forwarded me the security camera footage. He lifted that fucking couch by himself and moved it exactly where I wanted it. Then he waited for me to come home, pretended to struggle with it, and suggested calling my brother. He wanted to see if I'd mock him to my family. I did. My sister showed me his Instagram yesterday. He blocked me. It's full of his woodworking projects, restored vintage cars, and the fucking cabin he built with his own hands in the mountains. 80K followers. He's been living a whole secret life while I thought he was just my nerdy, incapable husband. All those work trips he took, they were speaking engagements where companies paid him $10,000 per appearance to share his expertise. And there I was, telling anyone who'd listen how I had to dumb things down for him. Update 3, posted 3 weeks later. I'm officially the pariah of our social circle. Last night was Jessica's birthday party. I wasn't invited, but I saw the photos on social media. There was Michael, surrounded by my former friends. They posted videos of him fixing Jessica's broken cabinet during the party. The comments were brutal. How did Sarah not see what a catch he was? Imagine having a genius husband and calling him weak, LOL. Best thing that ever happened to him was getting rid of that toxic wife. My own sister commented, "My sister never deserved you, Michael. Thanks for still helping with Dad's computer even after everything." That's when I broke. I drove to the house, my house, for 9 years and 8 months, and begged him to talk to me. Michael came to the door, looking different, confident, standing straighter. "Sarah, what do you want?" "I'm sorry. I didn't know." That's exactly the problem. You didn't know because you never cared to know. You created a version of me in your head that made you feel superior, and you clung to it. He showed me something on his phone, receipts from couples therapy from 3 years ago. Sessions I refused to attend because we didn't have issues. While I was making fun of him to my friends, he was trying to fix our marriage alone. Update 4, posted 1 month later. The settlement meeting was yesterday. Michael offered 18 months of alimony, $300 per month, $30,000 lump sum. My car, which I just learned HE bought outright. None of my personal debt, $40,000 in credit cards he knew nothing about. His lawyer also presented evidence of my infidelity. Remember my girls' trips to Vegas? He has everything. Hotel receipts, photos, the fucking Uber receipts showing I went to some guy's house at 2 a.m. I've been having an affair for 2 years with a personal trainer. Michael knew the whole time. He was waiting for me to either come clean or use it against him in the divorce. When I tried to paint him as controlling in my initial filing, he unleashed everything. My lawyer told me to take the deal or risk getting nothing. Final update, posted 2 months later. Divorce is finalized. I got exactly what he offered. I've moved into a studio apartment, and I'm working full-time at the boutique for $15 per hour. Michael sold the house for $875,000. I thought it was worth maybe $400,000. He's moving to another city where he's been offered a position as chief security officer. Salary, $500,000 plus stock options. All our former friends went to his goodbye party. The party was at his mountain cabin, the one I never knew existed. Everyone wore matching t-shirts that said Michael's real friends on the front, and we see you on the back. My own mother told me she's staying in touch with him. Apparently, while I was trash-talking him at every family gathering, he was paying for my nephew's coding camp, helping my dad invest his retirement funds, covering my mum's medical bills when she was between insurance. Mum said, in all those years, he never once said a bad word about you to us. Not once. My sister has cut contact with me. She sent me one final text. He gave you everything, and you gave him mockery. Now you have exactly what you deserve. Nothing. Even my affair partner dumped me once he realized I wasn't getting a big divorce settlement. You want to know the final insult? He sent me a thank you card after the divorce was finalized. Inside it said, "Thank you for the lessons learned. I hope you find peace with yourself someday." I'm in therapy now, which I can barely afford, trying to figure out why I needed to tear down the best thing in my life to feel good about myself. Ladies, if you're reading this, look at your partner. Really look at them. Because the person you're mocking might just be playing chess while you're playing checkers.